We all go a little mad sometimes. We get you. The dead follow
You are Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour, the show where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things horror. I am your host, George, and I am joined today by my fellow host, Yutaka. Hello.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about and reviewing the first episode of American Horror Story Double Feature Part 2 Death Valley. Because if you didn't think it had a long enough title, then you do now. So there's been one episode so far. So today we are going to review the first episode, as I said, which was an interesting one, I think. We're going to talk about what we thought of it, where we think it's going to go, what we want to see happen in the next 3 episodes, because of course this part of the season is only 4 episodes. So yeah, I'm going to throw it over to you, Taka, first. And what did you think of episode 1 of Death Valley? Dare I ask?
It was boring. Yeah. It left a lot to be desired. It was very meh. Like it was all over the place. And not in a good way. Like it was just the fuck. Like this isn't scary. I don't think this is horror. And we get it, Ryan. You just want to have hot gay men and all your fucking shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, I really liked the intro, like the opening. I mean, not the intro is in the theme. Sorry, I'm talking about the opening scene. I thought was really interesting. It was nice, the black and white vibe. And that did kind of get me. I was like, "Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one." But then, yeah, we don't have time for this filler because it's 4 episodes. So this needed to be a rapid rate. To be honest, I could have just done with it being set in the 1960s. I don't need this now time. I not unless this is going to link to part 1, then I don't really need it. Maybe it will, because I don't know if you saw the promo for episode 2, where it's evident that the aliens, which I know a lot of people have these theories anyway in general, that, there are aliens amongst us and that they have, told us how to do things. So she said something about using the microwave, which is an alien technology. So maybe there is a reason I'm saying this, is because maybe this also links into part 1 Red Tide, with the pill coming from the military being something from the aliens. So if that happens to be that and they do it well, then that's fine. I don't think they will be able to, but yeah, I wasn't really that. I preferred the first episode of Red Tide, to be honest, compared to this. It just, yeah. And the cast it wasn't a really strong cast, to be honest with you. Sarah Paulson was just being Sarah Paulson. There was nothing that grabbed me like I was interested in it. And I really was so excited because I love aliens and I really wanted an alien series. Let's see, again, this is the first episode, but like we've said, this is only 4 episodes. So there's only so much they can do.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give my spiel. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have cut you off.
Go for it.
All right. Let's talk. So just want to give you the storyline that they stated. 1954, housewife Maria Wyckoff's son is abducted because little Timmy wouldn't come in when she asked. Just saying. Her husband is killed by aliens. Okay, whatever. And she becomes the conduit for the aliens. Maybe put that before. And goes to speak to President Eisenhower, which I actually do like Neil McDonough. I thought that was kind of a nice, we got a new cast member. In present day, we got 4 college students who go on a camping trip in the desert, suffer some time loss, and then discover they're all, of course, pregnant. Ugh. So, couple things. Sarah Paulson is already wasted yet again.
Yeah, I feel like she had a few spare days in between filming something and said, shall I do
Right.
this cameo?
Lily Robb as Amelia Earhart. No. I wasn't feeling it.
No, but I also wasn't feeling her character in part 1 either. So
no, she was awful. I felt bad for her. She was wasted. And in this episode, credit only, we have Leslie Grossman and Angelica Ross. So yet again, I do have to say Angelica Ross is really getting screwed this season because we barely have got to see her. So
was she really in
upset
this?
about that. She's going to be. So they're Leslie Grossman and Angelica Ross are credit only. So they're credited, but they're not actually in the episode.
Right.
So that sucks. And I just, gosh, I'm not feeling this at all. I don't think so far Ryan can do Aliens because I hated Asylum at the end.
See, I did like it.
I know you did. I hated it. I really did. That season could have been incredible. And then I'm like, Ryan, you just did too much. And so right now, and which is kind of funny, he's doing the opposite. I go, Ryan, you're doing too little.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to keep watching, but for Christ's sake, this season so far is just a hot fucking mess. It's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I feel like the further it goes on, the worse it's getting, which is really sad because I do really love American Horror Story, and to see it dwindle like this, it's going the same way that Glee did, where, you know, I mean, so you want about that series, it was strong to start off with, and
it ended. Yeah,
it just went to, and I mean, not that the contents of it was sometimes, you know, to be questioned with some of the choices that were made, but like the first series or two, you know, really strong, you know, the first couple of series, and then it went downhill. I'm feeling the same American Horror Story. Like we said, he's doing too much, in the words of Katia Zamlodchikova. I've had about just enough. I've had about just enough of the 40th franchised sequel spin-off series, American Horror Story, American Canada Story, American Boo Boo Story. There's too much going on.
Well, first off, American Horror Stories, that whole series sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then right now, Impeachment. Ooh.
I haven't watched it yet. Everyone's really hyped up about that, but I guess maybe it's not them.
I think that's kind of what's happening, is like all these actors are just overstretched in a sense. And I wouldn't mind if he then brought in some new blood, or had some of the most recent new blood have a bigger role. You know, it's just, come on. I don't know. This season, it was so overhyped. And to get what we did for Red Tide, when that little bitch Alma lived.
Well, I like that, but
But regardless, I would say I'm just, this season, the hype was better than what we're actually seeing. So I hope it improves, but I am really just like, oh my God, you're killing me. What is it? Red Tide got an hour and a half premiere. This got an hour. This could have used an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, there was none of the. I was not interested in any of the characters.
No.
All of the main 4 modern day characters were one dimensional.
They were annoying,
like stereotypical. Like, it was just all very much just not great. I didn't really. So when everything was happening to them, I really didn't care. I don't see what the fuss is around Kaya Jordan Gerbler, who plays Kendall and was also in American Horror Stories as the girlfriend. I don't think she's a strong actor at all, and I'm worried that she is moving into Ryan's circle, which means that she'll be in everything he does. No offense to her, I'm sure she's a really nice person, but for me, her acting hasn't really been like I haven't been blown away by it in stories or in this first episode. The two guys in it were just as your standard Ryan Murphy men, like they were just there. Like it was like, how can we have them take their t-shirts off in every scene? It's like in Jacob and Twilight. They're like, it's a side. There must be something in their contract.
Oh my god, I was so annoyed. I was like, really, Ryan? Really? I was like, Jesus.
And then the other girl, Rachel Hilson, I think her name Jamie Howard, she was all right, but again, none of them, I wasn't like blown away by any of them, and I wasn't really invested in any of their stories. And yeah, and then I'm more intrigued about the 1950s story because I kind of think that's a good way. It kind of is although it's not as strong, it's a new direction for the show to go in, and it's very different to what they've done before with the whole full black and white aspect. So that I think could be interesting. I just think they're gonna squash together these two timelines and try and do like a Westworld, and it's not going to work. So, yeah, I'm not really. I feel like this is a bad review for us because but I mean, you've got to have reviews like this. It's right now, it's not doing anything particular for me, which is really sad because out of both of the parts, I was really looking forward to part 2 the most as a fan of the aliens and stuff like that. So, yeah,
you're not wrong. I will say, the promo for it, I was very much intrigued, and I was like, I think this will be so much better than Red Tide. And now I'm seeing that this season might just be a wash.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. I truly hope it gets better. But yeah, that's my thought on that. This has been a fun review.
And hopefully, guys, maybe something will happen in the next episodes where we enjoy it. Maybe. But right now, I think Ryan needs to I know he's trying to build this empire, but like I say, he's building an empire out of sand at the moment. And all it's going to take is some wind, it's going to come crashing down. So do you like that, Yutaka?
I did. I really did, because you are absolutely correct. Look, Ryan Murphy is an incredible producer, and he's, obviously it needs to be said that he's had several long-running shows and a really good relationship with FX and now going to be Netflix. So I just want him to put more focus, because you are correct with what that statement was funny. I loved it, but absolutely correct.
Like,
absolutely.
The thing is, and I guess it's not our fault as well, but we all kind of, I think there's an element that we're like, oh, kind of have to forgive him because series 1 to 4 was really, for most people will say the first 3 or 4 seasons, and obviously some after, but the first 4 were extremely strong seasons.
Yes. They won awards. Yeah. They were loved.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think he's like, keeps thinking, well, it's all right because the first 4 were okay, so I can do anything now. And I think we're letting him get away with it by being, well, the first 4 were really good, but it's like he had strong foundations. But... So
you're correct. Though, most of his series that he's done, usually after season 4, it's just they need to end.
Yeah. Well, I think most seasons after a season 4 need to end unless you've got some sort of like...
Unless it's a procedural, because those can also go on. But like his Nip Tuck, he ended at a good time. Glee probably should have ended a year or 2 early.
Yeah.
Just
the fact that there is an idea that show might come back is also really terrifying, bothersome. We need to stop this now. I really appreciate Ryan Murphy, but he is getting, I think, too big for his boots. Sorry, but
yeah,
I mean, as I say, you can appreciate everything he's done in the past. he's done some really great work, not to disparage any, but I think he's a bit like me in the sense that he wants to do like 20 things. Like I want to do 20 things at once. I'm like, do this, and this. And if you do that, you're not ever going to produce one decent project. If you're filming American sports stories, horror story, and crime story all at once, then you're given. I think it needs to be a break, and we need to just do one season per year. This year, we've had 3 different Ryan Murphy products in the space of.
Was Ratchet this year, or was that last year?
No, that was last year, and that wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. And he's making a season 2. Anyways, so yeah, that's our review. Hope you enjoyed that. Please stick around because we're gonna keep on keeping on with this season.
We
Hopefully
might be
it
asleep.
gets better.
By the episode 4 review, probably just us going, if it doesn't get any better. But who knows? Maybe he will surprise us. Probably not.
And we're going to actually keep up with this one.
Yes, he's pointing at me because
yes. We are going to keep giving you this fun content because I bet just like us, you want to rag on Ryan Murphy too.
This is a Ryan Murphy must stop page.
Look, he just needs to
stop.
Yeah. So like,
go and do a movie or something.
Oh, I do love his movies. I really do.
I've never seen any of his movies. I didn't even know he did them.
You never saw?
Or maybe I did. Maybe I just don't know that I have seen him. But
yeah,
I think I would know if I saw it because I think I would know.
The Boys in the Band.
Oh no. I do, but I do know what that one is.
Oh, that's a good one.
What other films is he?
The Normal Heart.
The Prom. No. Yeah. Boys in the Band. Yeah, he's only a producer on that though. He's only ever been a producer on these.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, he's produced good work. I just think like
I have seen one of his films in 2011. I did see the 3D concert movie. So.
Oh my God, let's end this review.
So on that note, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You can also pick up your Horror Hour merch in the link below at redbubble.com/shop/the-horror-hour. Don't forget to, as I say, subscribe. We've got loads more content like these. Yutaka does a lot of reviews on loads of different horror films. Of course, we've got the podcast as well. Everything gets uploaded here. There's always something going on. There's always someone about. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week for our review, another mundane review of episode 2. Let's hope not, but let's see. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.